Good afternoon, fellow Australian nationalists and others. I'm Jim Salem, of course, from Australia First, and I'm speaking this afternoon with Mr. Gavriηλίδη, the International Liaison Officer, as I understand it, for the Greek Nationalist Party, Golden Dawn. Once again, we seem to have some people who are actually imagining that Golden Dawn is actually banned in Greece. Can you just clarify that again so people understand the situation?
Golden Dawn has not been banned. Golden Dawn is not an illegal entity. It's a registered political party, just like any other party in Greece. Although they are developing certain mandates, and most recently they are attempting to alter by making amendments in the Constitution by banning people that have had virtually trumped up convictions against them and preventing them from participating in up and coming elections in Greece.
Right. Now, as I understand it, there was, of course, the very long criminal process. In fact, it was the process that was criminal against Golden Dawn that operated, and they proclaimed the leadership to be a criminal organisation. Now, is that where the confusion comes in? People are confusing Golden Dawn is regarded as a criminal organisation, and criminal organisations say if you or me got together now to conspire to carry out some offence, we're engaged in criminal organisation. So it's a matter of confusion, the terms. As I understand it, the 13 main leaders of Golden Dawn were proclaimed effectively organised criminals. That's what the Greek court said, was it not?
Correct. That's right. It's a form of political coup against the people of Greece, to give you a brief understanding. They're not utilising tanks. All they're doing is making one political party or a few political parties, they're expelling them from providing the right to citizens to vote a party of their preference, if that makes sense.
It does. Without just playing devil's advocate for a moment, in theory, that could even affect the Communist Party of Greece, couldn't it?
Absolutely, and this is where our argument comes in place as well, because the Communist Party, I mean, they've committed a lot of serious crimes. They committed horrendous crimes, and they haven't got exactly a clean record. Although, they have, based on the Constitution that has given them rights to run and be present in the political arena of Greece. So it doesn't make sense. On one hand, you've got criminals, individuals that have got a history of a lot more severe acts of crime, and to allow them to be available and an option to voters, it just doesn't make sense.
So basically, Golden Dawn, does it plan to attempt to participate in the next Greek election? Or members plan?
As mentioned before and previously, Jim, with the fact that we've got the leader incarcerated and he's taken more or less a step back, you've got an administrating committee that is more or less assessing whether we will run at the elections or not. They're doing a lot of groundwork to ensure that Golden Dawn is going to exist beyond these elections. Now, whether we run at these elections, which I quite likely doubt it, they will be establishing foundations to ensure that we will exist beyond these elections. There's a lot happening on a global scale where elections are being interfered with, and we're quite familiar with that because in the 2019 elections, it's renowned that Israelis have meddled in the elections in 2019 in Greece. and very likely they will be meddling in the elections, in the up and coming elections as well. We're seeing a lot of puppet parties propping up, and it clearly shows that these parties are nothing other than parties that are there to absorb the votes from Golden Dawn.
Obviously, there are some groups that seem to have arisen out of Golden Dawn. I think, speaking from the outside, the terrible pressures that were put upon Golden Dawn during the trial, it's probably not surprising that there was a little bit of fragmentation there. It's understandable, but do you think that Golden Dawn ultimately will be able to reassemble these groups, bring them all back together into a single formation?
With time, Jim, I feel that with time and with restructure, Golden Dawn will be present. You cannot eradicate, you cannot dissolve a movement, an ideology which Golden Dawn reflects. Golden Dawn will be very solid in the future, and will be partaking. A lot of people that have hoped that, and they moved away from Golden Dawn. Many will return. A lot will be proven, and action speaks louder than words. A lot of people tend to pursue a seat in Parliament because €8,000 a month is quite a reward for a comfortable seat in Parliament. A lot of people, when they see that it's all about having a seat, they'll be returning to support a movement like Golden Dawn. Because for Golden Dawn, it's never been about having a seat in Parliament. It's about battling and fighting for national interests and the interests of the people and the well-being of the people.
Have you found the various movements of nationalism in various countries are receptive to Golden Dawn?
There's throughout Europe. We are affiliated with certain movements. We keep things for purposes that we prefer not to elaborate who we communicate with. There's some very strong support, and it's vice versa as well. We are enlightening, just as we were the beacon going back 12 years ago, and we were pre-warning our European counterparts with what's happening in regards to the immigration laws and the corruption. Very similar is happening at the moment. We are enlightening, and we are sharing thoughts and information throughout Europe. Quite surprisingly, up north, up north of Europe, the Nordics, they're quite concerned with what's actually happening.
I noticed the Greek commemorations for the Emir incident actually drew participation from other nationalists in Europe and elsewhere. Was that a positive sign of things to come for Golden Dawn?
It's a sign, it's a sign that we're not giving up the fight. It's a sign that Golden Dawn is going to be around. It's also, and it's and we're giving our nationalist brethren in other parts of Europe a bit of courage to keep on.